Live from the MultiGP headquarters, this is MultiGP News.
Today on MultiGP News, what a successful turnout at the RIOT International Open last week. Pilots from different corners of the world making history after burning the most amount of lipos in one location ever. MultiGP News has a full recap coming up. Also, the 2017 National Championships just a few weeks away, and these pilots are hungrier than ever for the title. Find out how they are prepping up for the big race. What's up, everyone? I'm Chris, DJ Chris Thomas.
And I'm Frank, Realize Made It. All this and much more coming up.
Hi, my name is Robert JFK Lacroix and you're watching MultiGP News. I'm looking forward to race you all in Reno.
What's going on, guys? NV Astro here. You're watching MultiGP News, and I just want to tell you guys to bring your A game next month to the 2017 MultiGP Drone Championship, because this thing is going to be competitive. I know I'm going to be bringing my A game, so you better bring your A game because I'm going for that #1 spot, so I'll see you there.
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Here are your top stories in this week's MultiGP Rundown. The RIOT International Open has officially come to an end, and if you weren't there, well, you missed out on one of the greatest FPV events known to mankind. There were over 300 pilots at this event. Everywhere I went, someone was flying and having a good time.
Yeah, it was a great time. We put a lot of hard work into it, but it was all worth it at the end.
Yep.
Now, many pilots traveled from all over the world to participate in the RIOT MultiGP International Open. I'm talking about South Korea, Australia, the UK, France, Mexico, Germany, Canada, and of course from all over the United States. We spoke with a few of these pilots, and here's what they had to say about their experience at the I.O.
It was my first ever drone racing event ever. I've flown around plenty, but this was actually my first event. It was really a very big event to pull off, and I think MultiGP, RIOT, everyone involved really did a fantastic job to maintain, the courses, the volunteers, the pilots, keep everyone happy. So I think it was a fantastic event. I definitely had a blast.
We were blown away by the tracks and how many people were there. It was really crazy, awesome. We just met so many people that we had seen. Like, I've never met so many people, FPV people, in one time. It was just crazy. So just even before the racing got started, we were having so much fun, just playing around, and that's what I liked about it, is it was just a lot of fun. I didn't feel stressed at all during the whole event. I mean, even during the finals, say it was meeting everybody, because I don't know if there's ever a time in my life that I can do that again as far as FPV. Maybe, if there's another international event. But, I mean, I got to meet people from Germany, France, Canada, Australia, and so UK. So it was crazy. I think that was a highlight for me.
We wanted to meet. There was like the DRL guys, like Jet and that, like we'd spoken to them a few times, but being able to catch up for an entire week was crazy. There was obviously Sean Taylor and Braindren and their teams and that. I really look up to those guys a lot, so being able to meet them in person was awesome and hang out with them. Then there's also, the Next Blades guys, Next X Blades. So Batty, Gary Kent, we've never met Gary before, and it was so awesome hanging out with him. For Dad, I think the highlight was being able to have a beer with him for a bit. So that was awesome. And then even Young Rock, I'd only met him once, and that was in the Drone Worlds last year. And even then, we really got time to catch up with this. So having a whole week, you could go around, have a chat. You could go line up in the practice area and burn a few fun packs together. It was really great being able to meet that many people. It was awesome.
So I personally had a great time at the I.O. Even though we put in tons of work, I got to meet a lot of the people that I've seen on Facebook, and from one person's quote, Facebook came alive, and it really did. All the pilots that were there got to fly a little bit, got to do some fun things, and the best part about it was just hanging with all the volunteers and seeing the work and the effort that they just put into making this happen for you guys, for FPV history. So it was awesome.
There was 9 worlds. You would walk up on these race leaders, and there was a whole world within that racetrack at each site. And then Tiny Whoop had their own separate world. It was really awesome. So we had, without a doubt, the most prestigious, the all-star team of all times for FPV race management. If it wasn't for our rock star team of volunteers, who we truly appreciate, this would have not succeeded. It would have been a failure. So thank you very much for everything you did. Now, before we move on to our regional stories, we'd like to announce the winners of contests held by a few of our wonderful sponsors at I.O. For the past 6 months, hundreds of talented pilots from all over the country have been fighting vigorously for a spot at the championships. With only a few weeks left till nationals, fierce competition among pilots is in full swing.
MultiGP News has a full recap of the races held last week.
The 2017 National Championships is less than a month away, and for many of the competing pilots, the pressure is on. The last 2 qualifiers in the regional series is officially over. We begin in the Mother of States, where Lynchburg VARC and FPV hosted their race with 20 pilots, some traveling from Northern Virginia, North Carolina, and Maryland to compete. The track, fast and furious, pilots zipping through several obstacles with many challenged by the dive gate. Completing as many laps in 2 minutes was the race format, and the total lap count over 5 rounds, giving pilots their final score. After some serious battles on the track, these 9 pilots moving on to the finals in North Carolina. Then, Fayetteville multi-rotor racing giving pilots one last shot at the finals with a last chance qualifier in North Carolina. 16 pilots giving it their all on a challenging course with obstacles like the Pit of Doom and the Tornado.
We had a really cool obstacle called a Tornado, which is a series of gates in a circle, kind of like UTT-5, and that spiraled up into high gates on top of those gates, so it was a really, really tough obstacle. Two Dog RC was great enough to supply us with the prizes.
It was all about lightweight and agility on this course, these pilots advancing to the finals. Now on to our regional finals, where pilots from 3 chapters kicked up the competition by several notches. We start off in the Badger State, where Bladed Fury Racing held their 3D final, with some traveling all the way from the north end of Fargo down as far as southern Illinois for a shot at the national championships. The weather was picture perfect on race day, but the day before, gusty winds and heavy downpours left those setting up the course soaked to the bone. 37 pilots battled it out with their fair share of crashes and tumbles, but the Gravity Gate was a breeze for these skilled racers in the Midwest. Pilots like Drone Doll and Unicorn Princess also showing up to race, giving the boys some competition and a run for their money. All in all, the final running without a hitch, thanks to the head organizer, who some say hosted and directed one of the smoothest events ever in that region. In the end, these 2 lucky pilots will be packing their bags and heading to Reno. Captain Vanover coming in first and J-Rod second. The pilots coming in 3rd through 6th, making the Series 60.
Army Quad, gentlemen, listen for the tone.
Now moving on to the Golden State, where 2 chapters held their regional finals last week. We begin in Southern California, where Ventura County FPV racers held their final, with some traveling 2 hours from Bakersfield for a shot at the Nationals in Reno.
We ran the regional finals out here today. Turnout was good. We had over 35 pilots. We had 5 separate qualifiers to get into the finals here.
Pilots enjoying the track, but for some, the gates posed a bit of a challenge after a few quads got stuck and others left hanging in trees.
I have no idea. I hit something and then after, it was just freaking out.
After several hours of intense racing, Doma FPV taking the #1 spot and pint-sized pilot Drobot Racer coming in second. The two punching their ticket to the national championships. The pilots coming in 3rd through 6th, also heading to Reno, but have to battle it out in the Series 60.
So 1 year ago when I was just getting into drones, Luke Bannister had won the Dubai race. And then me and my dad set a goal to just make it to nationals. And now I'm going, so I'm really excited about that.
It feels great knowing that you're one of the top people on this track. It's the best feeling. Reno, finals, very excited.
Finally moving to the state capital where Sacramento MultiGP kicked off their regional final. 34 of the fastest pilots in Northern California coming together, with most traveling 3 to 4 hours to compete for the qualifying spots in the national championships. The event sponsored by Multirotor Mania, Hobbytown USA, Think Tank FPV, HQ Props, and Drone Eclipse. Now with the help of San Francisco Chapter 415 FPV, Lifetime, and the TBS Tracker, the heat's running quick and smooth throughout the day. Pilots taking on the finals track with very little issues, but the infamous dive gate a bit challenging after snagging a few of the quads straight to the ground.
And I did okay, I'd say. I hoped I would have done a little better, but I got unlucky and screwed up another run, and I ended up on the 7th place.
After several rounds in the blistering heat and some tough competition, Meow FPV coming in first and Flying Bear taking second. Both pilots punching their ticket to the national championships in Reno next month. The pilots finishing 3rd through 6th, making the Series 60. Those pilots also headed to Reno, but have to fight their way into the Fast 56. Congratulations to all the pilots, best of luck in the national championships.
For all your updated regional series information and a list of the last few finals, head to multigp.com and click on the Drone Racing Championship tab. And when we come back, these pilots already earned their way to Reno. But how are they planning to take down the 2-time defending national champion, Sean Night Fury Taylor? Their winning game plan coming up.
Plus, we've got some gnarly crash videos and a few from last week's final. It's the crashes of the week you don't want to miss, so stick around.
The 2017 National Championships will be held on September 13th through 17th, and defending champ Sean Night Fury Taylor will face some intense competition in Reno.
Meet some of the pilots who are hoping to dethrone the king this year.
These pilots have already earned their way to the 2017 National Championships in Reno next month. Some making the top 2 spots in the finals and the Series 60, others qualifying with some fast times on the U22 tracks. Now these pilots are putting in tons of practice before the big race. Meet 16-year-old Matthew Chewy FPV Nordit from the Reno Drone Racing and FPV chapter in Nevada. He recently took 3rd place in last week's final hosted by Sacramento MultiGP, earning his spot in the Series 60.
Yeah, I was extremely nervous. I knew that there was going to be a ton of fast pilots and that it was going to be a difficult day. I didn't really expect to qualify for nationals.
With his eyes on the prize, Matthew plans to fly every day in preparation for the big race.
I kind of do simulators here and there, and I am starting to put in a lot more packs through the days, and I'm going to just prepare myself as best as I can.
Robert from the Team Bailings chapter in Cali also competed with Chewy FPV last week, coming in 7th in the 6A finals. He's already qualified for the nationals by setting some fast times on 4 different U22 tracks.
I was lucky actually to get 2 qualifying times by the time the tickets went on sale. It was so much fun, we continued doing them, so now I got 4 times that get me into Reno.
Oh my god, we're not going to 6 lapper.
He's not only good at flying FPV, but is an honors student in high school with challenging AP courses and still finds the time to practice for the nationals.
I've been doing a bunch of backyard flying. I have a really small place where I can just fly as many technical courses as I want. I try to do as many awkward lines and falling through trees and all kinds of stuff just to have an upper hand at Reno.
He's the young pilot who shocked the FPV community with not one, not two, but 3 6-lap runs in the 4A regional finals and a neck-and-neck battle with BMS Thomas on the World Cup track at the International Open.
Thomas is awesome because I love his just who he is, because right before we took off, he's like, congratulations, man, and hope you do well. And he did that. He told that to everybody. He shook their hand. He's like, it's been great flying against you. He's awesome. He's a great competitor, and so it was awesome. But yeah, so of course I've looked up to him forever, and being able to race against him was crazy.
So how is 16-year-old Mark McGapp-Bramer gearing up for the big race in Reno?
I like to just kind of fix my quad and then take a break, because if I fly too much, I get mentally overloaded, and then I'll fly really bad.
15-year-old Christopher Hartman from Idaho made it to the Sirius 60 after coming in 5th in the 5A regional finals in Washington State. Christopher racing against 14-year-old Sorrel Zero Miller, who was the first pilot to hit 6 laps on the regional finals track.
I thought Sorrel would go for sure. I definitely thought he would go. I wasn't so sure on myself. I walked in not knowing any of the pilots from the west side of the state or in Oregon. Had a pretty clean day, and so I was able to, on the last round, just push a little bit harder, knowing that I already had my 3 5-lap runs locked up, and then I could just push for that fast lap so I could, bump into that.
Another fast pilot from Texas burning plenty of packs before the championships after coming in 2nd, right behind McGapp in the 4A finals. 21-year-old Ivan Envy Astro focusing on one thing and one thing only, dethroning 2-time multi-GP defending champion Sean Night Fury Taylor and taking the title home back to Texas, where pilots are tough.
I hope I go far. I'm just looking forward for Reno now. That's the next big thing, and that's it. That's Reno is like the next big event, and I hope I do well. I know I could do well. If I don't mess up and stuff like that, I should do well. But it's drone racing. You never know what's going to happen.
Well-known pilot and DRL star Adam Admakiki also heading to Reno. But how does he feel about competing with so many young pilots for the national title this year?
Last year at the regional finals, I was able to come in 2nd. This year, I only came in 4th. Everybody who plays before me is at least a decade younger than I am. Right now, I'm feeling really old and really slow. I just got back from the International Open, where the pilot who took the first place in the World Cup race is half my age.
Here's an interesting fact. This year, we have the most amount of pilots under the age of 18 competing for the championship title. Good luck to all those pilots, and remember, there is still the Detroit final coming up. Log on to multigp.com and click on the 2017 Championship tab for a full breakdown. Now it's time for our crashes of the week. This is where pilots send us videos of their best crashes and we show them to you.
Thanks to everyone who sent in their clips. Here they are, check them out.
You know, my favorite crash there was where you had multiple scenes of the same crash, almost like it was reenacted as they were trying to get through the gate. That was awesome.
Yeah, I really like the ones where they're like rolling on the ground. You hit the ground and you roll and then just keeps rolling and rolling forever and you never know when it's going to end. I mean, those are fun.
You know, now if you want to have your crash featured on an upcoming episode, email your videos to news@multigp.com. That's all the time we have for this episode of MultiGP News. Remember, there are still some finals to happen, so log on to multigp.com and click on the Championship tab to get a full breakdown. If there's anyone planning to attend Reno, remember we're not only doing a drone race, there's also a world-class airplane race happening at the same time. So it's going to be awesome.
Finally, we're aiming to reach 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So remember to like, share, and subscribe. And remember, don't forget to click that little bell icon on the side of your YouTube channel so you won't miss an update from us. Thanks for watching. I'm Frank Real Lives Minute.
And I'm Chris Thomas. Thanks for joining us.
If you like this video, press the like button below, and please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching. If you're interested in being showcased in the next episode of MultiGP News, please contact us at news@multigp.com.